Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and yeah, there were some accidental solicitations for DC Multiverse this week. Apparently, Target put up pre-order pages for the Nightfall Batman, like you saw in the intro, looking so good, and then Two-Face's Batman and Batwing. But it was too early. Like you saw, the pre-orders are next week, so Target pulled them down, and I missed out on all the pictures, all the information. So we won't be talking about that this week. Next week, we'll have pictures for sure, and all the information, and the, it'll release when it releases, because we're Target, and you may get them, and you may not get them. Target! In that same vein, well, in the sense that it's something we've seen, but hadn't seen official solicitations for yet, but now we're getting them. Here are the pretty promotional pictures for Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2 Chun-Li. The difference here is that pre-orders went up this week, and they were supposed to go up. So, yay everybody, coordination. This is in Wave 1 along with Ryu and Fei Long. Those two have been hitting targets for the past month or so. Chun-Li, better late than never, right? I mean, she looks good, so it's kind of a stagger. I wonder how this will affect Wave 2, because we've seen that announcement. Broken record, I am not a big fighting game guy, but I can appreciate the main casts of the popular games. I mean, they are hard to avoid. Plus, my waning days of wandering arcades was about the time this game came out. So there is a nostalgia tingle involved. Oh, yeah, I remember looking over people's shoulder and being like, what are you playing? Oh, a fighting game. Okay, I'll be over here. But that's also why I can't look at this and point out any kind of inaccuracies or gripes or anything. To me, this encompasses the spirit of the character. This is just, I'm like, I need a Chun-Li for my collection. Well, hell, there she is. Okay, because I needed more toys to buy. Although the $24.99 price tag is not bad at all for what you get here. Plus, like I mentioned, the release schedule is easy to follow along. Fei Long and Ryu now, or well, soon. I think pre-orders are set to hit in the next month or so, and then Chun-Li should follow in September or so. We saw the tease for Super7's ThunderCats Ultimates Glow-in-the-Dark Chitara last week, and just like clockwork, pre-orders this week. That's just how it goes. And again, repeating myself here, I'll admit I'm a sucker for the gimmicky ThunderCats. You got your color change Lino, you have your clear Tigra, it's the same for glow-in-the-dark Chitara. It makes me wonder if they're going to do anything for Panthro, and if so, what would they do there? Well, first, it's been a while since I've seen ThunderCats, so I don't know if this is referring to anything specific. Did she glow at some point in the series? Or is this just meant to be, you know, her super speed? And she goes so fast that it's kind of... Or does it just come down to the fact that glow-in-the-dark is Neato Burrito? Because check it out. Oh yeah, that's going to look pretty sweet. When you leave your toy room, turn the lights off, look back, there's going to be this, and... I'm blanking on other glow-in-the-dark figures at the moment, but I'm sure we all have one or two. So, yeah. If you want to add it to your collection... it's there. If not, Super7 exclusive, $65 scheduled for early 2024. It's the end of the month. That means it's Medicom MAFEX season. But this month's offerings, speaking simply for myself, aren't the most exciting. Although I'll admit, I know, well, okay, I was going to say not a lot about Shin Ultraman, but I know nothing about this Zaffi figure, so it does nothing for me. But maybe you're a fan who has been waiting for this for a long time and looking at it like, yes, finally, Shin Ultraman Zaffi, look at it, that's amazing. Because the only other scenario would be that you're a super fan of Zaffi and this isn't up to your expectations. And then in that case, it's like, boo, MAFEX, Shin Ultraman, Zaffi, boo. Or maybe it is good job Medicom. Or bad job Medicom. Or somewhere in between. I guess I fall right there, huh? Just like, yeah, it looks okay. I don't know. That's all on you and your own personal preferences. But then there's also the Dark Knight Returns Joker in variant suit. When the pictures first started popping up, I thought maybe this was the reissue for the month. They've been doing that lately, bringing back older figures as a third option that's not related to the two main offerings of the month. But no, this is the second figure for this month. The jacket now has a tire tread pattern sculpted in, and then the heads are also different. Where the first go around gave us serious and crazy laughing Batarang eye, this second pass has somber and crazy laughing without a Batarang in the eye. There's also new accessories like the cotton candies and the lipstick tube, which is better than, was it just a knife? No, there was a cigarette too that he could hold in his hand. The knife is still there, but then there's another knife too. So, extras. It looks like the feet, the legs, the hands are reuse, and the color of the gloves look like they may match the first version. So, between that and the heads, there's some swappability, I think, between the two figures. Basically, this is Joker from a different point in the story, much like the various MAFEX Batmans we've gotten from Dark Knight Returns. You got your blues, you got your blacks, you got your damaged, you got your 2-packs, and here's a Joker to go with any one of those. Both Zoffy and Joker are sitting at about $70 with the current exchange rate and are supposed to drop next February. Here's a little announcement from a small company. Looks like Fwoosh Toys will be producing figures from Ninja Scroll. Wait, what? Oh, that's us? Well, look at that. Yeah, there's a lot of irons in the fire at the moment. We're still working on skeletons, and there's a few other surprises, but a licensed figure, there's something exciting about that, you know? Especially since it's Ninja Scroll. I haven't watched that since the 90s, I'll admit, but I remember back then seeing it and being backwoods Arkansas, there's a whole wide world of things out there. This is awesome. Hopefully, this will be worth it once the product releases. That's all I can hope for. There should be more on this during the summer. So, I've never heard of Star Studio, but when these Ancient War Orcs started scrolling past my feed, I had to do a double take. Wait, what? Those are amazing looking. I just like big bulky bastards in barbarian gear. What can I say? Throw in some bright skin tones and I'm even more interested because, like I always say, a good toy that you can throw into any display. Oh, okay, you want this as a bounty hunter in Star Wars? Or an enforcer of some kind? A minion for your Marvel Universe shelf? Just pow, 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 pow. I love toys like that. I guess I do get some Gladiator Hulk vibes from the green one. But then there's also orange, if that's too on the nose for you. 2 Bruiser Brutes, Battle Axe, nice and simple, right? Wrong! That is never the case when we're talking third-party items. I was looking through the promo pics and ran across these and was wondering, why did they blur out that extra stuff off to the side? I should have known. That stuff is apparently based on Warcraft, and as you can probably guess, I know jack about Warcraft. All I know is that these alternate heads and gear ratchet these figures up to about 11. In comparison, the first pictures come off as tame. Those are army builders, and I'm sure the same can be said for the Warcraftian looks, but there's a lot more personality to them. Those extra parts are described as free gifts that are thrown in when you order the figures. I don't know how successful that is at avoiding legalities, but then again, I'm surprised at half the third-party stuff we see these days. But there's also a confusion factor. There's 4 options here to throw lawyers off the scent. There's 2 base bodies, each with tweaked armor arrangements, both available in orange and green. Then there's 2 different gifts to choose from. There's full heads of hair in both colors, where the additional overlays consist of a heavier belt and shoulder harness, and then the other gift has a bald head with a smaller belt and harness, but the huge horned shoulder pads make up the difference. Like I said, kind of confusing. Hell, I'm not even sure I explained all that correctly, but if you go to 5K Toys, they have all the details laid out with a nice drop-down option, some text. You can look through, figure it out. $80 no matter which option you choose, and they're shooting for a summer-fall release. And looking at the pictures, the layout looks familiar. Is this one third-party company under the name of another third-party company? Always making moves, always trying to stay under the radar? I don't know. I just look at toys. Yep. You smell that? It's almost con season. And more than that, there's a scent of pizza in the air. And since we're talking NECA, that can only mean Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle news. We've been seeing teases of Kino from TMNT 2 for a few months now. This week, we got the whole kit and caboodle. This set will be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and it includes Kino with the scooter, and then a shirt, and a magnet, and some other things. Oh, well, damn. It's all listed right there on the pizza box packaging. It's Roy's Pizza themed things like keychain, t-shirt, employee of the month card, and a magnet. I'm guessing there's going to be some online sales on the NECA site beforehand, but it's always hard to grab. Hopefully, with all this extra stuff included here, there's going to be a bare bones release later. Hopefully. Do not quote me on that, because you just never know. Well, NECA knows, but I don't. So that's all I got. I'm just trying to put a positive spin on an exclusive situation. I'm not even a big fan of Secret of the Ooze, but it's Ernie Reyes Jr., and Kino is memorable in the movie, even though I haven't seen it. Have I seen it more than twice? Not counting clips on YouTube? Saying that, I've seen TMNT 3 even less. I don't think I've ever even seen it all the way through. All I remember is samurai gear on the turtles, Casey, and a hot air balloon. Was that in the movie? Or did I hallucinate that? Either way, this tease makes me think that those versions of the turtles are on their way. It's just a feeling I have. A strong hunch, even. Tamashii Nation's got a little rowdy this week, announcing 2 new S.H.Figuarts figures that are right in the Fwoosh wheelhouse, like Indiana Jones. I don't know why this surprises me. We've seen several indies from several different companies. I guess I just got swept up in the Hasbro solicitations or something. And saying that, while I think this looks fantastic, speaking for myself, I think I'm pretty good with the Adventure series. Bandai's gonna release this, and who else? Meanwhile, Hasbro is building a world. They're not getting to everyone, at least not yet, but there's a lot of other cast members to go along with Indiana. And while I think the likeness is better here, the smoothness on the clothing, especially the pants, they just have that, well, they have that S.H.Figuarts feel. But if you collect S.H.Figuarts, I am not bagging on this, not at all. I know it's going to stick in your craw that I said that I prefer Hasbro, but personal preferences. We all do this thing different. Like, take this newly solicited S.H.Figuarts Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Spider-Man 2099. Looks amazing. Spectacular. Lots of sharp detail, the colors pop, the articulation seems to let it do everything a spider can. But it is definitely in the realm of Figuarts, especially how it overemphasizes the techie bits. That falls right in line with the Figuarts Miles and Gwen, who have that basketball basket weaving texture all over them. Again, that's all fine and dandy. If that's your jam, jam away. Hell, I'm tempted, really, but I'm not invested yet. I'm sure when I see the movie, it'll be like, gimme all the Spider-Mans from all the different companies. But I do have to point out that the unmasked head did catch me off guard at first, and not in a good way. Not because they included it, but just how it looks. I was like, wait, that is not great. But then I went back to stills from the trailers and realized that it's actually a good likeness. It just doesn't have the neon red and blue lights that seem to always be shining in the Spider-Verse. This is Miguel without the movie filter. This is the closest I can find to normal lighting, and even it's bathed in a red glow. But the skin tone does seem a bit light, so I don't know. We'll see how the final product looks. No pre-orders for Indiana Jones yet, but Spider-Man 2099 is a Soul Web exclusive, running about $90, should release in November. Now, what else is supposed to be included in this picture? And let's wrap up this weekly with the ever-present Marvel Legends, because at this point, has it been most of this year? Just a weekly thing. A weekly thing on the weekly. But it's also something I know about, because half the stuff today has been a lot of robo-don't-know-ness. Well, okay. I didn't read a lot of Squadron Supreme. I know who they are. The handbooks were my Bible growing up. And when they would appear in other comics, I enjoyed their appearances. But I never read their own series, their own stories. Despite that, I love the Hyperion and Dr. Spectrum 2-pack. So announcing Nighthawk and Blur hot on their heels, even better. I love getting a team done lickety-split. We'll talk about it in a minute. Hold on. I think I've already mentioned that Blur is a way better name than Whizzer, and I like that it keeps the yellow elements to kind of call back to that. Not gonna lie though, if you look out of the corner of your eye or just kind of glance, it does give Sabretooth, or, well, I guess Fang vibes since he just came out. But you look at it and stare at it, and yeah, okay, that's Blur. He's like if Whizzer and Speed Demon had a baby, I guess you could say. And it's the same for Nighthawk. Not so much the two characters having a baby, but this is the look I was hoping for because it fits that Heroes Reborn era of the team. That's what Hyperion and Dr. Spectrum was based on. It's what Blur comes from. We needed this version of Nighthawk. I know there's been several popular looks for the character, and we've even gotten one in Marvel Legends before, but again, need to finish this team, and then hopefully we'll get other versions later. No pre-orders just yet, hopefully soon, and hopefully we'll also see something for the last member of this iteration of the group. Dan has promised that they haven't forgotten about Power Princess, but there is a pattern forming. Zarda joins an ever-growing group of females that are needed to finish a group that we mostly already have. In fact, it's sounding like a pretty good Amazon 5-pack at this point. Power Princess to finish this version of the Squadron Supreme, Wolfsbane to add to the X-Factor shelf, X-Force is in dire need of Feral, Marina to get Alpha Flight a little closer to completion, and then Phoenix for my precious Excalibur shelf, with power-up effects and alternate flame head, and then another head with the hound tattoos, and then more Phoenix effects? Hey, the other women in this wishlisty make-believe multi-pack don't have a lot of accessory options. Give them all to Rachel. One fell swoop. Bam! But I guess I was putting too many 5-pack vibes out into the action figure ether because then they announced the Amazon exclusive West Coast Avengers set. A lot of rehash here, but at least what was rehashed is upgraded. Well, maybe not Iron Man, but they did change the silver to white like we saw a lot in West Coast Avengers. That is accurate. And since I was a West Coast Avengers kid, it was one of the few comics that I read that wasn't X-related. This is my version of Silver Centurion, well, I guess White Centurion Iron Man. Tiger's orange has been toned from Cheeto to Tiger, and then her calm head gets a, oh man, so much improved hairstyle to it. It's more comic book, less Toy Biz flat, where they try to get it thin enough to get all the motion out of it. This looks good. Spider-Woman gets a full overhaul, new body, double elbows pinless, new hairstyle, which again looks way better than the first release. And then Hank Pym shows up in the least superhero-y costume ever. But it is practical. If I remember right, at this point he was more about shrinking other things and storing them away in his pockets. You know, quick access. Oh, we need this? You can't do that in skin-tight spandex, even if it is unstable molecules. Well, you probably can, huh? Store away a pocket dimension in a little flap or a zipper somewhere. Why did I go down here? You can put a zipper anywhere. Plus, the new parts here can lend themselves to new characters or new versions of characters. We've gotten Professor X, but now we can get his tactical look. There's the Tinkerer, there's Fixer before he was Techno in the Thunderbolts, you know, the blue and green gear. There's, okay, the pants, especially the crotch area, makes me think Agent X. Hey, I'm just saying, it's not like I've answered Agent X every time I'm asked which character I would like to see in Marvel Legends most or anything, you know? But then there's Mockingbird, who has gotten a figure before, but for everyone who wanted a classic version, here it is. Or, well, here it is mostly. It all comes down to the sleeves. I'm guessing the big billows were toned down because they can look like shit in every other position except the one they were sculpted in. Hey, I agree with everyone that is bringing up Lady Deathstrike. In fact, I already have that custom rolling around in my head. But you have to admit, you have to be truthful, you have to be honest with yourself. In action poses, they become cloth wings or fabric blades or something. They look odd. So I get it, and I don't like it, but I think the covered arms jump out at me more. My time reading West Coast Avengers, she always had bare forearms. no matter the costume. Oh, are they going to do the full suit version at some point in the future? Because I want that too, but will they do the sleeve things for that? Or maybe this is based on another version, another artwork, or something. I don't know. Because otherwise, the head is beautiful. I love the mask. Some people are saying it's big, but it's Mockingbird. It works for me. And I like the costume. I like the body. I like the presence. I like how it stands there. I like the pictures. Mockingbird. All in all, I'm still in because I never got Tigra. I didn't open that Silver Centurion Iron Man, and this is my preferred look anyway, so there's that. I like Hank Pym in his jumpsuit. And Mockingbird. Is that all of them? No, who'd I miss? Oh, Spider-Woman. And like I always say, the black and white suits, so getting that upgraded, that's fine. That's me though. I can definitely see the point of view of, hey, I already have half of these characters on the shelf, but then again, it's a 5-pack. It seems like those are just meant to be add-ons to throw other characters out there, because we still need Wonder Man in the green that I forgot he wore so much in West Coast Avengers, and Moon Knight in the gold accents. There's Firebird and Living Lightning, and who are we going to do for the 5th? Thing in spandex, maybe? You never know. There's options here that I guess could have been a little better, but again, 5-pack. It's like easy. Amazon's, okay, we'll sell that. Boop. $125, scheduled for October. Probably hit in the next month or two. That's the way it's been going lately. Because I finally finished the Marvel Legends X-Men Cha-Odd wave this week. So I finally get to open those up. Well, that's a lie. I did open Emma and Cyclops already because I couldn't wait. Astonishing. I had to do it. But next week, that's what's on the schedule, is to do a review of that whole wave. I've done some tweaks to Scott, and I have some ideas for Emma, so those will be included in the overall review, and then we'll take a look at all the rest, because it's X-Men, and I just did a video in the past week or so where I said, I haven't been buying a lot of Marvel Legends waves because of current prices and such. But you put X-Men in front of me, and I'm gonna buy them. It's as simple as that. I mean, I'm not going to apologize for it. That's what I like. We can talk about that at a later time. Next week, in fact. So, until then, I did it again. I nearly tripped. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. Oh, next week, too, I get a new studio. But that won't matter until I finish it out. So...